Welcome. Today we are diving deep into one of the most critical components of any mature environmental management system. Clause 10, Improvement, under the new ISO 14001:2026 standard. This clause is not just a procedural requirement. It is the engine that drives your EMS forward. It ensures your system learns. It ensures your system adapts. It ensures your system evolves. An EMS that does not improve is a system that is already failing. It becomes a static set of documents, disconnected from real-world environmental challenges and operational realities. Clause 10 provides the framework for turning lessons learned from failures and performance evaluations into tangible, positive environmental change over time. This training is designed for EMS managers, ISO consultants, auditors, and senior leadership. We will maintain an audit-focused and practical perspective. My goal is to equip you to understand the requirements of Clause 10, implement them effectively, and audit them with precision. We will dissect what has changed in the 2026 revision, explore what organizations must do to comply, and reveal what auditors will be looking for. Ultimately, Clause 10 determines if you can effectively correct environmental problems when they arise and prevent them from happening again. An organization's ability to master this clause separates a superficial, certificate-on-the-wall EMS from one that is deeply integrated into the business strategy. We will examine how Clause 10 connects to planning, operations, and performance evaluation, closing the loop and transforming data into action. By the end of this training, you will have a comprehensive understanding of how to leverage Clause 10 to drive continual improvement and demonstrate the ongoing effectiveness of your EMS to any auditor. Clause 10 is the capstone of the Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle. Its fundamental purpose is to provide a systematic process for turning performance data into meaningful action. It ensures that the insights gained from monitoring, measurement, and evaluation under Clause 9 are not just filed away, but are used to drive tangible improvements. The clause is structured to manage nonconformities and correct existing problems, but it also has a proactive dimension, pushing organizations to actively seek out opportunities for improvement. The power of Clause 10 lies in its deep integration. It directly closes the loop that begins with Clause 6, where objectives are set and risks are identified. The operational controls in Clause 8 are executed, and Clause 9, performance evaluation, acts as the diagnostic check. A nonconformity found during an internal audit triggers a corrective action process, which may lead to changes in operational procedures or even a revision of environmental objectives. Clause 10 closes the EMS loop by turning performance evaluation into measurable improvement. This statement is central to understanding its role. Clause 10.1, titled General, sets the overarching expectation. The organization must actively determine and select opportunities for improvement. The clause says improvements are intended to achieve the intended outcomes of the EMS, enhance environmental performance, and improve the effectiveness of the management system itself. This requires cultivating a continual improvement culture where opportunities are captured not just in audit reports, but through employee suggestions and daily operational tasks. The 2026 revision places a much stronger emphasis on demonstrable and measurable environmental improvement. This moves the requirement from a process-based check to an outcome-based verification. This is reflected in the language around sustainability integration and climate resilience. Improvement opportunities should be viewed through a wider, more strategic lens. Auditors will be trained to look for trends. A flat line on a performance graph, year after year, will be a significant red flag. Therefore, the core change in Clause 10.1 is the shift from "Are you trying to improve?" to "Show me the evidence of your improvement." To effectively implement Clause 10.1, organizations should use performance data to identify opportunities, integrate them into management reviews, and track the effectiveness of actions. The management review meeting is the primary venue to strategically discuss, prioritize, and allocate resources to improvement projects. Auditors will review evidence of improvement, evaluate performance trends, and assess the maturity of the continual improvement process. Common findings include improvement actions not being tracked, having no measurable results, or being completely disconnected from the organization's stated objectives. Clause 10.2 provides the mandatory, structured process for reacting when things go wrong. It dictates that when a nonconformity occurs, the organization must react effectively. This reaction is a multi-step process. Take action to control and correct the issue, deal with the consequences, and then evaluate the need for action to eliminate the causes. For example, if an operator error led to a spill, the correction is to clean it up. The corrective action might involve redesigning the process or improving training to prevent it from happening again. A common failure is treating the symptom, the correction, instead of the cause. A mature EMS focuses on true corrective action to prevent recurrence. To effectively manage nonconformities, it is essential to understand the distinct hierarchy of response actions: containment, correction, and corrective action. Containment stops the problem from getting worse. Correction fixes the immediate, observable failure. But neither addresses why the drum was leaking. Corrective action identifies the root cause, like a faulty procurement process, and implements a systemic solution to prevent it from ever happening again. The 2026 revision places intense focus on the quality of the problem-solving process, with increased scrutiny on the effectiveness of the root cause analysis itself. Auditor. Operator error is a symptom, not a root cause. Why did the error occur? Simply stating, operator error will be met with skepticism. Auditors will expect a deeper analysis of why the error occurred, pushing for evidence of a robust RCA methodology. Another key change is the elevated importance of implementing systemic corrective actions, using a single failure as a trigger to fix similar vulnerabilities across the entire organization. The timeliness and verification of effectiveness have also been upgraded. The standard now expects a formal, planned follow-up activity to gather data and prove the action remains effective. In practice, this means using structured RCA tools like the 5 Whys to trace a failure back to its systemic root cause, and then implementing a systemic fix, like updating all relevant procedures. Auditors will scrutinize corrective action records, evaluating the quality of the root cause analysis, and looking for objective evidence that effectiveness checks were performed. Nothing signals a failure of the Clause 10.2 process more clearly than repeated findings across audits. This is direct proof that the previous corrective action was ineffective. A robust corrective action process is built on effective root cause analysis. To facilitate this, organizations should adopt formal methodologies like the 5 Whys for simple issues or a fishbone diagram for more complex problems. This visual method ensures a comprehensive exploration of all possible contributing factors, from unclear procedures to inadequate training or lack of management oversight. Weak, unstructured RCA is the primary reason for recurring audit findings. Adopting a formal methodology is a non-negotiable step toward EMS maturity. Continual improvement is more than a process. It is a cultural mindset championed by leadership and supported by robust systems for employee engagement. Create simple channels for reporting, provide feedback on suggestions, and make performance data visible to foster a data-driven culture of preventive environmental management. To conclude, follow this practical roadmap. Strengthen reporting, improve your RCA methodologies, and implement mandatory effectiveness verification. Then use performance data proactively, build a leadership-led culture, and integrate improvement into your strategic planning. In closing, remember our key message. Clause 10 determines whether your EMS evolves and improves, or if it stagnates and becomes irrelevant. By mastering the principles of Clause 10, you are not just preparing for an audit. You are building a more sustainable, responsible, and resilient organization for the future. Thank you.